everybody. I'm Andrew Starks, Director of Product Management for Macnica Americas here at Infocomm 21 with Thomas, one of our fantastic and talented QA engineers and also a Lua scripting ninja for us. He's going to show some of the cool features that we've been developing at Macnica for the MPA1000, right, Thomas?
That's correct.
All right, let's start.
Yeah, so as you can see, we have right here, we're looking at a graph here. This is basically graphite, which retrieves data from our MPA1000 devices into our graphite server. What you can see here being shown is the temperature, CPU usage, and down at the bottom here, the stream status.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there, Thomas. So graphite is an open source application, is that correct?
Yes.
And it can take data and put it into a graph, and any kind of data you want to put into it, it's ready to read it, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And it uses open technologies like SNMP or any other kind of protocol. And the MPA1000 is communicating to that over the network, right?
Absolutely right, Andy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so is that like an example that's part of the dev kit, or is that just something we made for the show?
This was initially developed by our developers so that we can demonstrate the extent of how much we can customize the behavior of the board.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, so one of the things that I see a lot in products is, of course, we have a web interface, we've been showing that, but people need to have a more machine interface, or especially when they're testing, they need more like a command line interface. We've got something along those lines too. Can you demonstrate that a little bit?
Yeah, we actually have a REPL console device here.
Now REPL stands for Read, Evaluate, Print, Loop, right?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, something like that, right? Okay.
What we can do is we can perform developer commands here.
Okay.
So we can make the board do what we want it to do.
Okay.
I can, for example, show you how to retrieve EDID information from the screen.
All right, that sounds cool.
So for that, I have two commands that I can perform to show this off. One is to make it pretty print so that it's human readable. The other is to get the EDID information.
All right.
So I've connected here to the REPL. I'm going to parse these commands in here.
Okay.
And here we have the
so
EDID
go back up to the top here. Let me see what you typed in. So you've got, first you said pretty print, which, what does that do?
This makes the text human readable, so it's not all in one bunch.
Oh, okay, that's very cool. And then that's, so DC, that's like a method call or some kind of function you loaded. And get EDID, that's pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, and so then it looks like it's retrieving some kind of object. And it has all the EDID information. That's this monitor that's plugged in right now? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, right now, this is device 41 here. This is the decoder device, and the decoder device is connected to the monitor. And from the monitor, the information is retrieved.
That's awesome. And my understanding too is that you can actually also get the raw EDID if that's what you're looking for too in a hex format. You don't have to show us that, but we make it into an object so that you can manipulate it and use it in connections, but we also give you the raw EDID as well if you want that.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so this is really cool, although you sprayed a whole bunch of text on here. That's not how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to develop my application in the REPL, right? What is the IDE or what is the integrated developer environment? Do we have anything for that? So what if I'm making a program? What does that look like, and how do I debug my program?
So there's two ways to do that. You can actually, this REPL here is actually just like a Lua interpreter. You can use it. Oh,
so you can actually program right in the REPL.
If that's what you want, yes. But that's more like the hardcore primitive type of thing.
Right. And I just want to highlight one more feature, which I think is pretty cool.
Yes.
This REPL is actually written in Lua, correct?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So people can take this example and modify it and turn it into a command line interface for their product, right?
If that's what they want, they can do that. Okay,
so we have a powerful REPL written in Lua, and people can customize that and use it in their own products, right? Now, I need to customize the MPA1000 in other ways, and I need to be able to write my own programs in there. And because I'm not a great developer, I always make mistakes. What's the debugging experience like? What's that? What does that workflow look like?
All right, I'll explain. There are actually two ways. The first way is a very primitive way. You can use the REPL itself as the Lua interpreter. You can program right here. But you won't get the fancy features of debugging if you don't have an IDE. So that's where the second way comes in. We are actually using EDIE here. This is IntelliJ.
Okay. Awesome.
idea.
And that's a free
It's free,
IDE, right?
It's open source.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Yes, that's what we are using.
And we have this all
works.
set up to work with Lua, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
also have the debugger here to show up, and you can browse through all the variables that
Okay.
I'm going to demonstrate in just a few moments.
Okay.
So to set up a debugger here, you will just place this command here. You can also place breakpoints somewhere here.
Okay. So you can have it run to a certain point if you want to, or I suppose when it hits that debug command, it probably pauses there too, right?
Precisely.
Okay, all right.
But in our case, we don't need a breakpoint here because this command here will stop automatically here
Okay.
as soon as it reaches it.
Okay.
So now let's get to debugging. For that, we need to start the debugging server.
Okay.
We click on this green bug icon here, and the debugger server has started here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna trigger this sayTemp function. Say we want to debug some problem here.
Okay.
I'm gonna open the REPL console here, and then perform telegram say, got caps lock, hang on, say temp, and then the brackets.
Oops.
Yeah, the brackets.
All right.
Like this. So we have now entered the debugger here.
All right.
We can browse through the variables. We can put some variables here on watch. We can explore objects in here. If we really want to, we can even inject our custom values here. We can step
While
over
it's
line
running.
by line.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can change the value that's in there while it's running, and then
Yes.
it'll use that value as it goes as you're testing it. That's really cool. So it's got basically what you'd expect from a modern debugger if you were in like C++ or something like that.
That's correct.
But we're using a much simpler and easier language to learn in Lua. That's really powerful. That's awesome.
You got it.
And I suppose there's a lot more to show, but I think this is a great demonstration of the power of customization that's available in Lua. Also, I'll mention too that all of this works with our web application too. So customizing the web application and adding forms and different controls on our web app is also possible using the same scripting language. Is that correct?
All that, and you can also implement your custom API handlers for
Wow,
it.
that's really powerful. All right, well, thanks, Thomas. What a great demo. And I
Likewise.
appreciate your time. And that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you want more information, please check us out at macnicatech.com.